crisis facing tariffs and other within the value pressures and to the perspective. Maybe nice. What do you reckon? I don't see doing that in something that is good. Yeah. Mm. Okay. Oh, yeah, it's on. Mm. It's because it's open, but it's open. It's because the name there is like a number and the name there is like a left. I saw it was. Hello, Louis. Hello, Paprika. Thank you, Louis. This is one of my six fourth-dimensional paintings. I have started to work on them over 2 years ago. We fine, thank you very much, Paprika. All these six paintings, they're part of my private collection because I'm a master of pre-classical realism. I treat the perspective in a bit different way to the way classical realists do. Yes, which allows me to explore the subject of fourth dimensionality. 2 years ago, because it's very complicated, Paprika. It usually takes me 2,000 hours to make a painting, oil on canvas masterpiece. It's about 40 to 50 fine layers of oil paint. But all those six canvases of the fourth dimensional subject, they are going to take even longer, and there's going to be even more layers. And this one now is of the deep sea, and I use the deep sea elements to bring out the fourth dimensionality on this canvas. Oh my god, oh, you did a great job for sure. Thank you, Paprika. I'm an artist and a fashion designer. I did also haute couture fashion shows. I did Berlin Fashion Week, Milan Fashion Week. Thank you, Louis. I made like a hand stitched prototypes of fashion. So without a machine, made by hand, on meant to fit one person anatomically. My main occupation is art as drawing and painting. I'm a master of pre-classical realism, which is a technique that originates from the Middle Ages. But additionally, to sort out some complicated formal things to do with the fourth dimension specifically, I have gotten myself into fashion a bit, and I did some fashion shows and fashion events. Recently, I've uploaded them to my YouTube channel because as I stream, I paint long hours every day, and part of this creative process I stream. But I've realized that as these canvases that I am streaming from now, I've started to work on them over 2 years ago. Some people may not see how is it even a painting or how did it started, because my technique is very refined. So that's why I've uploaded to YouTube some time lapse videos from the projects I did previously. I even did paintings in a city center to display a technique to show how the painting is painted from an empty canvas to a finished masterpiece. I did so with a very large canvas, even 2 meters by 4 meters. So I've uploaded them all into one channel so people can see that I'm not bullshitting when I'm painting and talking these things. And now I'm getting into this bioluminescence of the deep sea and things like that in this canvas. I was glad to find out that 3/4 of deep sea creatures are bioluminescent, because I needed some good source of light in this composition, but not the type that casts shadow and is typically used for third dimensional imagery, because I'm focused very much on the fourth dimension. But now you can't see the fourth dimensionality of it. And there is one part of the canvas that is even being covered. So this bit here, that's tape and paper covering this part of the painting. yeah, from Twitch, and I did some portraits of people from Twitch also, like remotely, just to show the technique. I did that previously, also from the beginning to finished drawing, from an empty page to finished drawing. Because the technique is very refined, I always remove little bits and pieces that may stick to the canvas, like hair and dust. So as the paint dries, as a wet oil paint, it attracts kind of dust and hair, especially my hair from around. So it kind of sticks to it, and because the technique is very fine, I care about every part of the painted surface. So I usually don't integrate those things into the canvas unless it doesn't disturb the view. Our Sandblush. Hi. Hi, our Sandblush. When you see the paintings in the museums, if you look closely and properly, you'll see all kinds of bits and pieces stuck to them. That usually hair, sometimes hair from a brush, things like that. That's part of it, because that's the nature of oil paint. But some of it cannot um, cannot stay on here because um, it may distort the image. But if it doesn't, it's okay. On these ones, on the fourth dimensional, like there's going to be even more than 50 layers of oil paint. So that is why, especially, I need to keep the surface smooth and clear of those. What does a naturist artist mean? Well, in order to help myself, well, to endure long hours of meticulous work, I'm a naturist. That's what it means, amongst other parts that I'm not showing in the frame. Um, you see, I don't know what you know about European culture, but traditionally masters worked a lot with female nude subjects. Yes, I am. Yes, I am Kibyuko. I am a naturist. If Paprika asks where I'm from, sorry, I didn't see that question. I am Polish from Poland. I didn't get that here. I stream through apps, so not all the comments come through my to my screen. But I hope to keep up with them, especially the ones from Twitch. Yes, I'm a naturist. It helps me to endure long hours of meticulous work. There is also always high temperature and low humidity in my atelier because in order for the paint to dry, it has to be so. In these conditions, paint dry. What am I painting then? This one is one of my six fourth dimensional paintings. They are all going to be part of my private collection, and I started to work on them over 2 years ago already. And in this composition, I use deep sea type themes in order to pull out this fourth dimensionality, which is a theme for all six paintings. They are all different, and each one has to do with different subjects, but they all are in the fourth dimension. And specifically now, I am painting the bioluminescent objects because I was pleased to find out that three-quarters of deep sea creatures are bioluminescent. So I use this kind of light for the fourth dimensionality in specifically in this painting because as a master of pre-classical realism, you can see a hand reaching out from dark water. Yes, yes, that's one of the elements you can see. That's right. There are also mm, other elements, sea creatures, underwater rivers, underwater waterfalls. It is a large canvas, 1 meter by 1.5 meters. No, 1 meter by 140 centimeters. So there's various elements on it. As a master of pre-classical realism, I kind of ignore the third dimensionality. So that's why this bioluminescence was very important to me because I'm not painting objects casting shadows in a traditional third dimensional way. I like those unless you can make a sense of kind of paintings, unless you can make sense of kind of paintings. I don't know if I understand. Lots of stuff happening. Yes, that's true. But you can make sense of it. Exactly. That's what I need for the fourth dimension representation in the deep sea. Because, but you're right. I'm not minimalist by any means, and I need a lot of things to pull out this fourth dimensionality. I cannot. I. I don't. I am not bringing it out through emptiness. I need to show the fourth dimensionality through various means and through harmony, hierarchy, and perfection of many elements. So you're right, it is a lot of stuff and it needs to be. It needs to be so. Hi, Junior. And also it needs to be a lot of elements because some aspects of one dimension are not visible in other dimensions, but through various subjects, it's possible to put attention rather on the dimension itself than on any particular subject, especially when the theme is like this, the deep sea. Everything is connected in there. Everything is together in the deep sea anyway. Kind of reminds me of something like anxiety, depression, and asking for help in the midst of all this crazy stuff happening inside someone's head. That is kind of for the oh, oh dear. You know, I am a master of pre-classical realism, so I approach my work in very calm, very non-emotional way. But I think that anyone perceiving it can interpret it in the way they want to and can have emotions as they want to. So I'm not going to like alter that in any way. I'm not willing to by any means. I think my job, and that's how I've been trained. My apprenticeship was 5 years drawing and painting 10 hours a day, every day, where any work that wasn't perfect had to be destroyed immediately. So I've been trained to compose in a very calm, non-emotional, professional way, which is different for artists who do their thing for hobby or for therapy reasons. So, in my aspect of work, the privilege of emotions is for the person viewing or owning the piece. And then all kinds of interpretations like that are totally possible, and they are they are for the people on the other side. It's not as such for me making a painting because I just compose, I plan, I do the drawings in preparation for it. So it's not so yeah, it's not it doesn't have this layer of meaning like that. That was your take exactly. You are doing a great job, 505. Thank you, Kibu. I understood it to be your take, and you are perfectly right to have one, of course, like everybody does. Thank you very much. Understood. But as a man, I have always hated armpit hair. I like to shave it clean on myself. Of course, that's funny. Now I do that because a lot of guys sort of troll me about it because I work. I did before a lot of projects in a public spaces, um, and now I work from my own atelier where it is always hot because the paint has to dry, and also it helps my body to endure long hours of meticulous work because of things like clothes affect on circulation, and when you don't wear clothes, how the circulation and lymphatic system works. I've been trained to work this way. And they troll me about it all the time. So that's why I sort of show it, and I take it a bit like a challenge, I guess. So that's why I'm showing like that, and that's why I'm being like that through all those yeah, through all those nasty comments and challenges. Also um because I am a naturist, I have my uncensored exclusive content on Patreon because Patreon allows creators to post their things uncensored. So I put fuller frame of what I do on Patreon, and I have Twitter is quite naturist friendly, so I put some of the things on there also. And I put some on Instagram, but on Instagram there's certain parts that cannot be shown, and I don't like to deal with them in a funny way. So I don't like to put sort of stickers on the nipples or anything like that. And I get a lot of this comment like, "Oh, you should shave and this and that," and I like doing things like this. I like to wear like, because also don't forget I'm a fashion designer, so I know all kinds of dress codes, but still I choose to work naked because that helps me the most, and it's hot. Uh, but I can also wear like a lady's dress. You do what you want. I just don't like it personally. I see. And you are not the only one, Kiziko. You are not the only one. A lot of people are like it. So I like to wear like a very fifi, very lady summer's dress, and then my legs are really hairy. I just start to stink real bad if I don't shave. that that's what people think, but usually the bad smell has to do with toxicity in your body or the bacteria living on your skin. So if you want to deal with sort of bad smell and things like that, mm, that mm, the shaving doesn't really change that much because the sweat glands they still work the same, and there is hair on the skin. But yeah, it's of course it's everyone's personal choice, and that I don't encourage anyone to do like me. It's just that's how I am doing it and how I'm doing it, and yeah, it becomes like an interesting, funny social experiment. All this, maybe it's just all placebo. Yeah, it's a bit, and you know, through sweat, the body detoxifies itself. So when you use a lot of blockers like uh, antiperspirants and things like that, your lymphatic system doesn't get the chance to detoxify, to throw the pollution out of your body through your skin. Um, so yeah, but it depends like how you want to do your thing. I don't tell people what to do, as I said. When I did fashion shows, I asked my models to not to wear makeup, to wear no bras with my fashion, and to wear no shoes. Always at my fashion shows, as my requirements for models. But however they deal with their bodies, hair, and things like that, that's up to them. Oh, you hate bras? Me too. I really hate them. And I especially hated those sort of fortified ones. They're so out of nature, really. I hate them also. Never wore one, but I can see how uncomfortable they are. Yeah, that they're off. I think they feel the same on guys as on girls, really, to be honest, because they don't lay well on human anatomy at all. Or did I? Yeah, you might have been tempted to try one on. I see it. Yeah, those stiff ones are awful. I don't like them. And also, when I work with models, I choose to work with ones who don't have tattoos, and no piercings and no permanent body image alterations, because large breasts can hurt your back. Well, for large-breasted women, they are fine, I guess, because it can hurt your back. Yes, they can hurt your back, but they still don't help. It doesn't help to suspend all this weight of that breast, of those breasts on their shoulders like that. They still, it even more can make the back go like inwards on itself and hunch up from what you have heard. Yeah, um, I've heard that too, like this thing of like, especially about jumping and activities like that. But um, you know, naturally, and like indigenous people, they didn't need those, and they could move perfectly fine and be super physically active. And some of those mamas really had their boobies huge. So yeah, I think it's also a bit like just a hype and just a thing. And a lot of it, I noticed, is to cover the nipple part, to sort of alter that natural hardness or softness of the nipples thing, and then the look of a female nipple. I don't know why, because guys can work topless, go topless everywhere, and they have nipples just the same. You hate anything uncomfortable. I see. Yeah, when I make fashion, it's always fitted to anatomy, but there is a lot of uncomfortable things that people wear every day, and that's what are inconvenient. Yeah, that's why naturism comes handy very much, because the birthday suit is the most comfortable thing you can wear, and it's always it's always your size. Yeah, some clothes can be actually dangerous also, like when there's a lot of elements flying away, or hanging around the fashion, and that these are very dangerous things. How's the weather there in Poland? Oh, it's been raining so much. It's humid and hot in Finland. Wow. Oh, you're in Finland. There's some Finnish people in Poland too. They like to drink strong alcohol, but they're alright. They have a good sense of humor and calm approach to things. It's been raining all the time. Today we even had hailstone. I think it's even raining now. Um, we're looking forward to the weather warming up and that because now, only since recently, we can go out without the mask. Raining there too, yeah. I think in general in Europe people are waiting for the weather to get better and to really get a chance to feel the spring. You have plus 40 degrees Celsius tomorrow. Alright, that's warmer than here. Here in the daytime, tomorrow is supposed to be something around 17 and something like that. But the temperature fluctuates up and down around 20 and a bit under 20 degrees recently. We had a couple of lovely days, but they have finished. Absolute madness. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. I wonder how things are going to go here. Only recently, the restrictions have been. Are you more south? You are more south than we are. Yes, yes. It's just that. Um, yet we have hotter weather. Yes, yes. Um, uh, Poland is very much part of Central Europe, and this uh, places like Greece and Italy, they are those south ones with real heat. And it's true in other European countries like France, the south is warmer than the north. But in Poland, it isn't that much difference from the south to north. In Poland, it isn't like that as much. I haven't noticed the big differences between the south and the north of the country, and also from the northern European countries to Poland, the difference isn't as striking as between the north and the real southern countries like Italy or Greece. It is a bit specific because the difference is because we are far away from the sea in most of the country. But other than that, yeah, the temperatures can be pretty similar. Yeah, but we had this thing of the restrictions being eased recently, and the outdoor pubs have opened. And ever since they've opened, it was raining and bad weather. So, very funny situation. Hi, Justin. How's things going? What you been up to? Anything good? Yeah, quite good, Justin. Going out, I can go out without a mask and so on. I'm continuing working on my paintings. I rather have a calm life. Outdoors are great, yeah, especially when you can go without a mask on the face. When it's raining, it means there is more oxygen in the air. That's right. That's right. Yeah, got yeah. Today was this hailstone. The other day got one pair of shoes totally soaked in rainwater, but other than that, it's alright. I think my shoes like this oxygen too. No problem for them as well. They've dried already, so it's alright. But it's true the air is better, especially when you can breathe it in a bit. I don't know what I've been up to that. What was that? I think nothing that particular. I rather have a very calm life and sounds like the yeah. It's also raining. Yeah. Mm. I don't like going out that much, especially I don't like this alcohol drinking thing. It's not for me, so I'm not part of it. I didn't go to those bars when they've opened, even though I've been invited, but no. And it became so loud everywhere, and suddenly at the weekend, so many people in the streets, it's hard to get through. I expect it will be the same next weekend. Even you could even hear them on my stream, like people, it's very, very large groups drinking heavily and partying. So if the weather will be good, you can see the difference in painting. Thank you, and thank you, Justin. I've been recently streaming from this one. There's so much to do on it. My mic is a bit low, so you can barely hear me speak. Maybe this, maybe the other. Yeah, I'll put everything on maximum, and I will speak louder as well. Oh, it's probably my voice as well. Speak like a castrated mouse sometimes. Or the mic output volume. Is it better now? Phone. But I guess it's my voice, I tell you. Is it better now? Then it's okay. Okay. Yeah. Was hoping you would sing a song at the same time, only joking. I don't sing. If I did, you wished I wouldn't. I don't sing, and no, I don't sing. It's not in any way my thing singing. No problem. I have nothing to do with music, really. Not even in the shower, you're not saying, no, I don't. It would break my shower. I don't. I don't want to curse my shower hose or something. No, it's so bad, really. I don't even want to try. At school, I had to sing sometimes, and it was terrible as well. I got through it, but no. But I like harmony and perfection, and there is no harmony and perfection in me singing. There's no harmony at all. But it's okay because I don't have a need for singing, so That's good as well. I have a friend and she's pretty much like me. It's just that she likes to sing and she likes to go on the stage and sing. No, oh bless you. Yeah, I only sang at school too. No, yes, my teacher said that I sing like an elephant kicked my ears. She literally said like that, like an elephant stood on my ears or something. I really can't sing, but we still had to because I went through this old system of education in Poland, like still like from the last year that went through this, like from the old times. So it was not so much like Western education, not so European, more like from the Eastern Bloc type education, and that's where we had to do all kinds of things and learn truly and quite deeply various domains without choosing or anything. That's not nice. No, it wasn't nice actually. Teachers shouldn't be saying that, but and on mine she was right. But we learn things a bit differently at school in this old Eastern European system. Lots of details of things we had to know. And there was quite some attention on science topics. But I was good at that. I liked all this science topics very much. So all the chemistry and physics and math. That was very strong in all USSR. It sounds funny when I talk about it. Well, I bet you got a sweet voice in there somewhere. Um, I don't know where, but I might be sitting on it, I'm afraid, and I think it's better to keep it so. And I've sat on it for so long, I guess I have suffocated it already, so it's long gone. Well, when I'm singing, it rains. I tried I because I wanted to sort of get some girls, and I tried quite recently again. Like I tried to sing like a man and so on, but it turned out badly as well. They didn't they It didn't work. So I abandoned trying. Like after trying to sing as me, um later on I tried to sort of sing like a man and dress smartly like a man to get some girls, but that didn't work out either. I got girls better without it, so I'm not trying anymore. Yeah, I realized that the right girls like me without all this sort of act and style put onto it. So I don't have to do it. It didn't work anyway. It's like shaving my head bald. It also didn't work for the girls. It was meant to get the girls, but it turned out it went all sideways. When well, it's all in good fun in the end of the day. Yes, you're right, Justin. It is good. Have to try different things to know where one is, and I have certainly tried some. I knew that I never wanted to be a boy, actually be a boy, but I have tried all kinds of things. I don't want to try anything that does like permanent changes or something, but everything to do with style and sociability and attracting the same gender. Yes, I have tried. Well, I guess we have one advantage. We can peace tending as men, though. Yes, some female activists, they try to get a device that allows them to do the same. That's so funny. Yeah, you can do that. Well, it's true. You can even wash your car that way or something. I know. But it was so funny when that girl told me about this device they have that allows them to do it as well. People are funny about it. I like with this man spread and all that. It's got so funny when I hear those things. Like I am not a feminist, even though I like girls, but I'm also not into any political things. I guess that'd be funny to see. Yes, yes. It's like especially to have to carry with you something like that, like an extra. I know I think it looks a bit like a flask or something, like a plastic part of a flask or something. It's silly. It really is silly just to do the same as a man. Make no sense. Yes, I'm not a feminist, and I'm not part of any political thing like that at all. And I don't agree with a lot of very like strict political lesbians I speak to. And some things I hear are so funny, like this thing of man spread or other things. Some people also get so mixed up with those things. I think where initially they are, it's complicated. A bit like a Petros Cantor's pipe thing. No, yes, exactly, yes. It is funny. It is. I think like if you don't like something, you don't have to try to be like that thing you don't like, right? And if as a girl you want to offer that type of thing to another girl, then that means you are not offering the same thing as a man does. So you don't have to pretend to be like that. So you don't have to, and even if you sort of make a girl happy or do things for a girl, you still do it as a girl. You don't do it as a guy. And even if you try to do some things as a guy, it don't that can only frustrate you. That doesn't work like that. It only goes as far as style, like fashion and that, but nothing else. You cannot do it. It's inevitable frustration. And also, if a girl wants to go with you because you are a girl, that means she wants to go with you because you are a girl, not because you are a guy. So you don't have to do these things. That was my conclusion after two times shaving my head for quite some months, after trying to wear boys' clothes, cowboys' hats, and strap on publicly. Well, it's best to be just be yourself and they soon come running to you. You're right, Justin. Yes, it's the best to be honest with what you've got on offer because it doesn't work the other way. I did those things also because I wanted to be quickly identified as that. I didn't want to be misunderstood and that kind of thing, but it still didn't work. And I guess I thought it must be known. It was so important for me to be that it is known. But now I see that it's known on a different level, and that information can be passed through naturally, instantaneously, without all this like style paraphernalia and so on. I think laughter always a strong thing to making each other laugh. You're right, Justin. Yes, it can de-escalate a lot of tensions and so on. I agree totally. That's why it's important to have a good sense of humor, and so people don't get offended so easily about everything. Because when that starts, uh, then a lot of human things are less possible. All the political correctness, or when you have to like weigh your words, that totally kills the sense of humor, which I also think is very good. Good laughter, very healthy. Yeah, who knows, ladies? Pink standing up could be the new fashion in time, lol. Yeah, and it's not that new actually, to be honest with you. It's not that new. They came up with it quite some time ago already. Not the newest. Even that's already passed. And also because they're jealous of that, um then they complain about that a lot. Like a lot of cities have different regulations about men peeing and that kind of thing, and that is very dangerous because it's very unhealthy for them to not let them pee. Actually, it's very very unhealthy. They should be, but because women are jealous that they don't pee, then they make, oh, it's crazy. It's never that clear. What conversation did you just walk into? Ah, about the ladies' devices to pee standing up, as to do the same as men do. You wonder if they do big sizes. Yeah, the, they want to do better in competition. So maybe they do colors or shining in the dark or some nice material. I don't know what G's. Ah, G's like Jesus. Yes, yes, yes. It's all about those girls doing boys things. Painting is coming along nicely. Thank you very much, Vogue. I appreciate it. Yeah, or write their names in snow. Yes, the logos or something. What is the link to? Mhm. Thank you. That's a talent, yeah, names in snow. Yeah, better than a dog. Dog can just do a patch of color. So dog is an abstract artist and the other can be more refined. And we can do it without lifting a leg. That's a good one, Mark. The struggle is real. What struggle, Mark? To be in public? It's not very clear where it is allowed or not. I've spoken with some people about it, and nobody is really sure is it really okay to pee in public places, like to water the trees and things like that. People have grown more concerned about it, and in the cities and that, they are even afraid to do so. So they hold their pee, which can be very, very unhealthy. And you hear legends like that. There is one from the Louis. If you are drunk enough, you can pee anywhere. Yeah, there is there is a legend like that. There was this French king Louis the 14th, and he didn't allow ladies in his companion to go to the toilet, and there was a situation of one of them being with him in this horse carriage, and she literally passed out from not being able to go for a pee. So, in that sense, I understand that the struggle is real because sometimes it can be really, really problematic. And there are public toilets in some places. They're not always the most convenient to get to, and yeah, and then there are those nature places, and then people don't know exactly if they can do it there or not. Like something with that. Yeah, you need to go, you got to go, you're right, it's not good to hold it in. Yeah, it really isn't. It really isn't. Um, it was called Hold Your Pee for a Wee. Hey, Chimp87. It's going good, thank you very much, Chimp. I pee in the bushes all the time at work as there are no toilets. So well done, Justin. You water them well. That's good. You rebel. You rebel. You. Glad to hear it. Thank you, Tim. I am painting one of six fourth-dimensional paintings which are part of my private collection. But I'm a bloke. I get away with it. Well done, Justin. Congratulations. Eugene, do you live near Krakow or Alsace-Lorraine? More close to Krakow. I live in Katowice. The name of my city is um on my Hubsting, and also the projects I've done, and I posted on YouTube. Because recently I have posted on YouTube some projects I did in a public spaces so people can see the work done fully from the beginning to the end to time lapse. Chimp Pimp has been to Katowice. Yeah, we have toilets there. Yes, we have the toilets there, and we have the UFO. One in some post-Soviet places you find these UFO style buildings, and we have one too. And of course, we have public toilets and all kinds of things like that. Do aliens pee? Um, I, I, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know any. My ancestors were from there. Ah, I see you, Jim. Hmm. That's why your surname is a bit Polish. You were just kidding. I get it, Vogue. But I honestly don't know if they were if they would be or not. It's. But we have this UFO building. I think my ancestors were Spanish because my name is Spanish. You were in Poland December 2019. Ah, Vogue never been to Poland or Spain. Right. Why, Chimp Pimp, why did you name yourself Chimp Pimp? I still not seen the octopus yet, lol. Ah, octopus? Oh, I posted picture of octopus on one of the Hubs posts. And I think no, I think I haven't put it on Instagram, on one of the Hubs posts, but I will do it. Chimp Pimp. It was just a nickname from many years ago, and I have used it for gaming ever since. Ah, right, right. Interesting. I, for example, don't want to go to America. People say like this thing of like travel. I think all this. My name is half of my RL last name. Your name is half of your RL last name. Ah, right. Your name is half of your real last name. Ah, okay, your name here. Yeah. I use my. I see real life. I use my real name because I've done anyway projects in public spaces and I did fashion shows. Traditionally, masters of my technique work anonymously, but I use my name anyway. So, and that way people can see the projects I did before and all comes together. Recently, I've uploaded to YouTube videos of projects I did in public spaces, of fashion shows I did before, and different things of the way I make fashion and things like that. And also, there is one of the paintings that I did in the city center. I was 2 meters by 4 meters oil on canvas, and that was done entirely in front of people, on people's eyes, entirely done in public space. You saw one of those videos, really cool. Thanks, Vogue. What places would you like to visit? To be honest with you, Justin, I'm right where I am. I have like no intentions of traveling anywhere. I did all these fashion shows in various places and things like that, and I have a bit different idea of traveling. That's a big painting. Yeah, the 2 meter by 4 meter one was really big, and it was just to show to show my technique on the canvas as large as it could get, because the way the linen gets woven, the longest edge you can have is 2 meters. So you cannot get longer than 2 meters on one of the edges. So I chose to do 4 meters by length. Yeah, it was really big. I did a couple of those actually on scaffolding, but that one was, and I always work painting on canvas unless I do the drawing technique or aquarelle, then I work on paper. But I never paint on walls or anything other than frescoes and murals. So that one was very large, all on canvas, and it was the whole whole setting made for it to do it publicly. I did it with Fuji institution from my country. Yeah, it was big. So I worked on a scaffolding at some days, and all was done entirely in public. That's why, because this one, you see, Chimping, this one I started over 2 years ago, and some people drop in and they say, "Ah, you're bullshitting, you're painting on a poster or something," because they don't realize about the technique. And my technique is very fine, and it originates from the Middle Ages, and I've been through a very disciplined 5 years of apprenticeship. It's the only way to learn it from a master. And people, when they come and they see this, after I've been after I started the collection of six fourth-dimensional paintings over 2 years ago, I may not know how can I get to this level. Like, so that's why I uploaded videos of work done from the white canvas. You are obviously very talented. Thank you, Chim Pim. Personally, I don't believe in talent. It is honestly my technique which I've learned through these 5 years of apprenticeship, drawing and painting 10 hours a day, every day, where any work that wasn't perfect I had to destroy immediately. So I've learned it through this. It's like I have been trained in my craft so much that it's sort of gone to the level of art. Like, that's the mastership of craft. But there is not much of a talent element in it, to be honest with you. There is some kind of like a natural capacity that allows one to go to learn, but that that is just small percentage of what's important to achieve this sort of perfectionism in oil painting or drawing. I do oil paintings, pencil drawings, ink paintings, and aquarelle painting. I only work in those four techniques. Well, a lot of dedication then. That's right, and a lot of discipline, Chimping. Well, I think your paintings are very good. Thank you, Justin. I appreciate that. I just got recently this sort of trawler, and he's been like trying to tell me this and that about my technique. And I realized that actually, yeah, if somebody is like maybe young and not experienced, or their eye doesn't work that well, they may not see how did I get to this from the white canvas. And that is also the reason why I tried to collect the videos of my previous projects into one place, where I can then refer people to when they tell me things like that. Because he was saying that, oh, you're painting on the poster, and I thought, well, if somebody's eyes work not the best, then may even like see it that way. So that's what. But fortunately, before even I started streaming, I have done so many things in public places, and I have dealt with so many people in a real life, that this is just, yeah, it's just one of those things. And I have a lot of lot of material to show this. Like some of it is on the news. I have lots of things. There was somebody making the films of many projects I did, so I have those films. Yeah, I can prove it. Have you ever looked back from your old painting how much you have improved over the years? Yes, my master asked me to keep one of the old paintings, just to have as a reference point. I did that, especially during my training. And now I can, since I have become a master, my technique is stable, so it doesn't change that much. It doesn't. It, there's none of those ups and downs and things. My learning process has finished. I think because the trolls of my YouTube channel, and they didn't come back. It's like with this, with this masterhood, when one becomes a master, it is a bit like with the perfection, and that's I think what I've learned to see by becoming a master. When something is perfect, and when it gains a certain level, it is perfect, and that's it, and you don't need to like do more on it or something like that. And that's I think, mm, what people don't realize, because everybody says there's always a place for improvement and things like that. It isn't so in my technique. I can use my technique for various purposes to sort of show more of it in a more like virtuoso way, or more impressive But it always something impresses some people, some other thing impresses others, but it's still not an improvement thing, but it's like it's the same level skill, but just used differently. Good for you. Should be proud of yourself for how much work you put in your art. Thank you, Justin. I appreciate it from you. What makes my picture 4D? You see, as a master of pre-classical realism, I've already mentioned to you, I sort of ignored the third dimension. That's why because classical realists, they sort of focus on the third dimension. They started from Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, and things like that, and then they started the institution of the academy and so on. But I paint more like the masters of the Middle Ages. So when you watch a lot of masters of Middle Ages worked anonymously, and a lot of their work has been destroyed because of all the religious wars and so on. But there's still some elements of the paintings from the Middle Ages that have been saved that show kind of time elements in the paintings. But that's from the perspective of art history. I'm not an art historian, I'm an artist. So, from myself, an answer on what makes my painting 4D, when somebody asks me about it, I tell them that it has to do with the space inside of us, like inside of our body, outside of us, inside of deep space, outside of deep space, time and space, and the relationship between all those things. And so the way how I do it is I sort of go through the first dimension using the second dimension and kind of ignoring the third dimension. I get to the fourth one. I know it's a bit complicated, but that is my explanation. Oh, thanks for explaining. You're welcome, chimp pimp. I want to say chimp shrimp because of all this, you know what, sea monkeys. You make me think of sea monkeys and things like that. Chimp pimp, chimp shrimp. Sorry about that. Yeah, so I know it's complicated, but when you sort of free yourself from perceiving things in a way like optical instruments, you can call me chimp shrimp. When you, thank you. I appreciate that because it's, um, when you kind of try to, because as a painter, working manually, just using my hand to eye to brain connection, I can work out things in such a refined way, and especially to do with dimensions, and that's what I'm doing. And when you sort of free yourself from having to perceive reality in a way that the optical instruments do, then you kind of can see how you can a bit ignore the third dimensionality on the two-dimensional canvas. I was trying to say it in a way to make it easier, but basically we don't see things exactly like the camera does, or like because a lot of classical realists, which are not like me because I'm a pre-classical realist, they base their view of the world, and they base their view which they use for paintings on the instrument like camera obscura, which was the origin of the camera and of how the camera sees. We are different. Our eyes are far more complex, and because we have other senses to perceive reality. And painting allows me to use all of those, and gaining my technique is what allows me to use all of those. Yeah, because those sea monkeys, that was really cheeky because you may think, oh, it's a monkey, and you expect to see a monkey in this water thing and that, and they're all branded shrimps packets. Yeah, no, I mean like branded into monkeys. They are like they've been marketed as monkeys, but they're just shrimps. Ah, you remember sea monkeys, yeah. And they still have them, they still send, and then sometimes is monkeys, and another thing is dragons. They call them sea dragons because they sort of move like that. But it's also this similar shrimp species. Yes, brine shrimp, exactly, in a mini plastic tank, exactly, yes. They are more dragons than monkeys, I suppose. Yeah, I wondered about that. The sort of it's so hard to see the monkey resemblance in them. I think like how could they be sold as monkeys? And for a lot of kids, it was so deeply disappointing because you expected to get a monkey, and there you get a little shrimp. And hear me thinking monkeys climb trees, not sure what sea monkeys do, lol. They just move a little bit funny, but it's really hard to be disappointed thinking you're going to get pet monkeys and they are just little shrimps. Probably one of the furthest things from a monkey. Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. And that's why I don't like branding and packaging and managers, because you can literally sell anything as anything, and it just makes no sense. That's why I honestly have this approach to all this sort of salespeople and all these package things. And the sea monkeys. This is like just a thing for kids, but it's still because it's for them. It's very heavily disappointing. But they do the same with finances and with really serious stuff, like those scams you hear about. That's why I don't like branding. You agree? Thanks, Chimp. Chimp. I will have to check out some of your YouTube videos. Yeah, my channel name is Kate Merez, the same as on Twitch, the same as on Hubs, because I mood stream through Hubs. And recently I posted some example videos of various projects from before. There's those paintings I did in public spaces, fashion shows. On Twitch, I also did portraits of some gamers. I did the portrait of Tyler One, and somebody did a compilation video of it. It's quite funny because it shows the contrast of me and my working way, and then this crazy gamer and his working way. I also did the portrait of Asmongold, and I did portrait of a couple of lady gamers too. Yeah, things like that. Also from nothing to finished drawing, portrait drawings they were, because that is a faster technique with pencil. And somebody did the time lapse videos of it. So I got them recently all in one place, and so then I can show people how it's done in one. Some I put are in Polish, and there's some news thing from Poland from last year and things like that. Oh, that's nice, Chim Chim. Nice of you. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Chim Chim. I streamed before um, from a different channel on Twitch, but I came across a difficult experience because I was painting a lady. It was an aquarelle painting, and I found out that I got suspended or something for painting her bottom. But there was no, the model was remote model, and I was just painting her, and there was a bottom here, and that got blocked. So that's why I'm now on a different channel, and I'm doing things a bit differently. That amongst the other things. And then I was doing a drawing. I wanted to show people because it's very important for a realistic artist to show how human is drawn. That's a bad reason to blog when it's art. Exactly. Exactly, Chimpin. Especially for realistic artists. We work with human anatomy. We need to know human anatomy, how the skeleton is, how the muscles are, even to draw and paint fully clothed people. So anatomy is very very important for artists, realistic artists especially. For me, as a master of pre-classical realism, is female anatomy because I chose my inspiration in the fourth year of my apprenticeship, and my inspiration comes from beautiful young natural girls and light, as in a sense of like measurement of weight and brightness, light. So these things are very important, and then I couldn't quite do it as I wanted to, and it was important. And then I started to draw Marilyn Monroe, but it was a nude on the beach, and I couldn't even show it. I could only show the head, like now. And yeah, for drawing and painting is very very important. That's why I now multi-stream through hubs, and I of course respect all the rules of all the platforms I'm on, but yeah, I think it's a little bit funny for the purpose of what I'm doing, because I asked my master to teach me in a way so I can show how the work is done. And I think it's a little bit mm, funny how the nudity is treated, female nudes are treated, and especially I think there is too much unnecessarily excitement built around it that doesn't allow people to treat it in a cool way. That's a shame, especially when you see the content some people put out on here. Yes, exactly. Thank you very much, Tim. Thank you very much. Then I found out that I could, for example, not even show feet and human foot, like there is a human hand painted. human hand or human foot is very difficult anatomic thing to draw and paint. So when you want to show your skill, you can actually get tested on that as a realistic artist. How well can you draw a foot or something? But you can't do that. So that's strange, and I think that doesn't help to ease this funny excitement that just builds it up, and that's why you see so much content there that is like ridiculously meant to overexcite people, but up to on some kind of animal level. Yeah, it's a shame how people act at times. I think so, Justin. Th- Thanks for giving your opinion. I really think it is a shame. And I think that the way it's all being channeled and the way it, people are treated, it doesn't help to educate them about nudity and about like naked woman's body, but it just builds up more tension and more excitement around it that it's totally unnecessary and inappropriate. I still put my uncensored content where I can. I run a Patreon page where I post exclusive uncensored content. I found out that Twitter is quite naturist friendly, so I can post things there. Of course, on Patreon it's age restricted. On Twitter it's under some warning of some sensitive content and so on. And I put what I can on Instagram and Facebook respecting their rules, but I don't like to cover up the human body in a funny ways. I think we have a real hang up about things like nudity in society. I think so too, Chimping, and I think it's a pity when people say and believe that we live in some kind of very advanced society. Because as long as the subjects of sexuality and nudity are not dealt with, people are not advanced at all. And that yeah, that's how I see it. I think so too. Yeah, so on Facebook and Instagram, I don't put like funny stickers on things. I don't like to see scratched out nipples or strawberries or cherries in the private parts of people because it looks a little bit like the work of a maniac to me. It looks like there's something wrong with somebody to treat the body in that way, that they got so carried away with themselves that they put cherries there or something. Hello, Vincent. So that's why I don't do like that, but I do what I can respecting the rules on all those platforms. So because I don't want to do the Don Quixote about it, it's senseless for me. But still, I will not fall under all this prudishness and the censoring of complete censoring of things. Uh, it's very cold here. I hope you're warm. Thank you, Vincent. In my atelier, it's always hot. That's why I work naked, and my paintings can dry and Justin. Yeah, you are right. Nude is such a natural thing. Some people just shamed of it all the time. Exactly. They just need to open their eyes to understand it. Exactly, Justin. Exactly. It's so it's such a natural thing, and and there's so many aspects of nudity other than sexuality. There's all the health aspect, there's aesthetics, like honestly the most important, the core part of realistic art have to do with naked woman's body. um it's just like, yeah, art, health aspect, all kinds of other things. The sport aspect of it, like for a lot of sports and things, uh, naked bodies like important. A lot of health things can be seen on the naked body. I don't know why people have such a thing about it. And when the more when I noticed, the more they bottle it up, the more it explodes crazily on them. Like the more funny they get, then they later you get these people like they get, I don't know, they get overly excited when they need to go to the doctors or something. Or and they it happens with a lot of women, I notice, that they actually don't feel their own body in a way as a woman should in a way, because they are so out of touch with the nature of a body and nature of a naked body. Vincent says, I often forget about perspective. Viewing your head on is more approachable than sideways when you work. Ah, right. Yes, yes. I know about that, Vincent. But I still keep my streams to what my content is about. I don't like this talking head streams. I see it sometimes. I think it's important to keep objectivity. So even though me talking to camera, like it happens at times when I'm painting, it's maybe more like attractive for viewing. As I told you, I don't do things for popularity. So that's why I stick to the way I run it. But thank you for your remark. Yeah, helps to make your skin to breathe being nude. Exactly, Justin, exactly. Some things I've heard that happen to girls and women because of all this culture of shaming the body and shaming nudity. Some things I've heard are really far gone. I call it forgotten tampon syndrome because I've heard a story of a girl who was so out of touch with her body that she forgot to remove her tampon for like months or so, and then she got really like serious blood poisoning, and she had to be treated at the doctors. And there's lots of stories you hear like that when you talk to doctors and things like that, and it's really, really not good. And of course, it has to do with it's like sexuality things, but not just, and it's everything altered through this treating nudity in that way. I understand your work comes first. It's more as a viewer about being able to focus on your words. It's not a criticism or a request, just an observation. Thank you, Vincent. I take it to be as such. And it's a rightful observation. I know it. Thank you, Vincent. Yeah, because also my accent and that and clarity of communicate. You're right. You're right. I know. And my attention is, yeah, it's true. It's more the communication is more clear that way. I do everything from a view of comfort. It is more comfortable to be dressed or naked or prone or standing. It's all just variables to me. hmm Yeah, I think you're right. I think you have to dress for the occasion, if you know what I mean. So that's what's important. Chimpim, I have to go now, but has been very nice to chat with you. Thank you, Chimpim. Nice to meet you. Keep well. Bye. Justin, well, we can only hope people in the world do open up about it all in time. It, it, yeah, I think like hoping for it, is like, I will come back again. Thanks, Chimpim. See you. Good night. Yeah, the openness is observed by the viewers. You're right. People watch the reactions. I know they watch facial reactions and they check for genuinity in the streamers. I do it myself. I check for that as well. You're right. And to be honest with you, Justin, I think that it's sadly getting more and more close. People are getting more and more like funny about it rather than in time being more open about nudity and naturism. From what I see, it's like people are getting more closed-minded rather than open-minded, and I check it out regularly. They even get like more fanatic about those things. We are now so far away from the 60s. We don't we and so far away, like we have hipsters, and compare hipster to a hippie. It's like dark academia or people who search for genuine knowledge. Yeah, I see them being less and less open-minded, to be honest, and all the ways of treating the body and things. And people have gone so far away from it. The women who sort of say they work for to, they do this body positive thing. They do it like, how is it body positive when a fat woman is wearing corset? It's nothing about accepting her natural body shape or anything like that. It's some kind of like a fashion cheat, like shaping something into something that it's not. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I see the lot. All the experiences in fashion help. It's interesting in other scopes that are inherently negative or inherently technical or inherently discoverable or inherently sociable, that it's attractive based on mood. Mm, that it's attractive based on mood. That it's based on their theme, you mean? Or that people know what to go to when they want it. I don't know if I get it. I don't know if I get it, Vincent. Do you mean that mm, it's that people sort of go to sections they want to go and they get what they came from? Or you mean like about the mood of the person on the stream? You either respond to those scopes because in the moment you are empathetic to what they're producing. Yes, yes, you're right, Vincent. It, I've noticed that with many things. Like, um, if you are looking for something, you will find it, and that's what I call shopping around. Um, the mood of the viewer matches the mood of the broadcaster. Um, those, yeah, the response to those yes, yes, and I think it also has to do with the harmony of other people who are part of the dialogue. I think it's not so like one on one as a viewer and broadcaster, but mm, there's a lot of people that can be there, drop in and out as they will. Some are watching, some will say something. I don't take, mm, I don't treat the broadcaster side in as a classical way as it used to, because there's a lot of people who are doing it now, who are broadcasters, but there's not so many people who are actually listening and watching. And I know you yourself called yourself a consumer, but myself, I'm doing a little bit different thing too, because I am literally listening to what people are saying and how they are like, and I still now continually find it very interesting, because I have had a lot of experience with the people in real life doing projects in public spaces, and there I also talked with people and interacted with them. But the people online, I find very, very interesting too. And the kind of messages they pass through, I see they are more like pure and less altered, and in a sense less censored, because people heavily weigh their words when they talk to you in a public context, when you're an artist painting there. But some people can write on here in anonymous way, and they just let out what they think, and I find that very interesting. It's like, and you can get here like parts of conscious and unconscious intimidation. Yeah, that's a daily routine. That's also intimidation is just one of them, but it's true. It's true. There's some other things also. There is this also this unconscious part. There is also mm, actually actually yes, there's some other like higher human needs on here too, other than the typical part. There is also some kind of more valuable things that come from human thoughts and minds. I see it here in the chat box. Find it very, very interesting. And some people in a real life, when they come to you as an artist doing a project, they strain themselves to come up with some things like that. Where whilst when people chat, maybe probably from the comfort of their own home and their situation, it just comes naturally like that. Just in, yeah, it is a lot of easier to talk on the net than face to face. Exactly, Justin. For some people, it really seems to be a lot easier like that, and that allows them to express themselves freely, and then that allows me to do my research. Yes, skill intimidates me. Vincent says, I will abandon my own learning in the face of great skill. Ah, which is a pity because it should motivate. Ah, that way intimidates, that skill intimidates you. Wow, interesting. And I will sort of connect my experiences from the reality and online, and they come together as a very interesting whole thing. Because in reality, I think I've told you, some people even try to destroy my paintings and things like that, because some really get like jittery about perfectionism, and it really works on their nerves. And when the painting starts to get advanced past the level that they have expected it to advance to when I started in a public place, then I can get really funny reactions and so on. So I think it definitely intimidates them too. But for example, I wouldn't know how, and I know it intimidates people online. Oh, this is interesting, Justin. Yeah, I am shy in the outside, but on the net it's so easy. Oh, that's interesting too. And I think then if you've done it enough on the net, you will find that it's just the same in a real life and on the net, to be honest. Because I think that's what it's all to sort of teach us, because people try to like come up with all these different avatars and things, but usually at the end of the day, all they find is themselves. So, and for me, it's like the other way. At the end of the day, I find a similar thing as in projects in public spaces. Vincent says to June about Justin. Is that because it's so easy to escape from negative experiences while on the internet? Ah, right, negative experiences. Hmm. I do ignore my negative experiences. Like for example, with the girls, mm, if I was to like think of negative experiences, I could not do anything. I could not talk to anyone because like um just because of being a girl, liking girls, I had so many negative experiences that I had to get over in order to talk to girls. I think that's what gave me the most like confidence and made me the most uh, extroverted. That I had to deal with those things, and sometimes there would be a girl and a boyfriend and jealous friends I would have to deal with, and things like that makes you more extroverted. I'm not shy at all. Also, no way. Can't be shy. Would be would be dead if I was shy or something. Wouldn't get out of bed. Can't afford to be shy. No way. They would have me for breakfast. Negative experiences. I think negative experiences are not to so escape just to really get over. You have to always get over and try again. I do that with the girls. Like she doesn't like me out and I have to get over and try again. I would not have picked you as an extrovert. Uh, labels very confusing. Yeah, yeah. I have had to become more extroverted. Like trying to sing. Oh no, that I can't do. That's bad. that, that's evil. Singing is. I think like as a personality trait, I have elements of both of introversion and extroversion, but I have learned to use both because I had to, and that's why I cannot have this sort of shy thing, and that's why I deal with intimidation in the way I do, and that's why I'm naked also and so on. And recently somebody was saying something to me about nudity or something, and I said yes, I'm sitting here naked with my legs open, hemi sinking, and I feel so relaxed. It's better than meditation. Vincent, I think we all have anchors, both positive and negative. I think people decide, they choose. I really think that they choose to be positive or to be negative. And then they choose or to drag the other ones down or to bring positive and bring them up. I really think they choose. And especially since we are conscious about it, we know what we do when we say. Like me as an artist, that's why I don't work on any negative subjects because I know what it would do if it would be on somebody's wall, the negative thing like that. So that's why I only work on positive subjects. I really think people choose, but I don't consider extrovertism and introvertism to be equal to positive and negative either. I mean, openness of personality and character traits. Extrovert is doesn't have to do for me with positive and negative because it can be either. But extrovert is somebody who has more open character traits and is more out there with what they are. I wonder if free will is something everyone can afford. Yes, of course. And the ones who say they can't, they only do it as an excuse. I think it is, Vincent. I think the ones who say they cannot afford free will, they are only excusing themselves. I've seen lots of people, people can excuse really bad things by just saying, oh, the situation pushed me to do it. How many bad things I've heard being excused like that? After dozen, you think there's something wrong with this. I'm glad you have chosen a life path that works for you. Yes, yes, I have, and I don't buy bullshit either. And if somebody did something that I consider to be really wrong, and they try to excuse themselves that it is because the situation pushed them to, or they had no choice, I have no forgiveness for such, and I don't excuse them. Not by any means, not in any part of my heart or mind, I can excuse people like that. I'd rather they admitted they've done something horrible and it is horrible than then excusing themselves, oh, because situation pushed them to. You can find reasoning for all kinds of things in the world and in people's lives. They can like reason any bad thing by anything, any bad thing that they have found for themselves in the outside world. I still think there's no reasons to do. Yeah, I'm very strong on that actually. I'm very strong. When somebody says, "Oh, they did that because the situation pushed them to," I say, "Ah, sure." I'm quite mercenary on it. I don't want to debate with you about around that. Sometimes debate is for debate's sake and doesn't improve the conversation. I don't mind if you want to say your part. I'm just honestly saying that it's no excuse to me, and I've heard bad things being excused that way, and I don't accept it. So I will just celebrate your positivity. As you wish, Vincent. I'm also not for the easiness of things. So I neither choose the easy ways in life and all this like easy, lazy things. They also, yeah, they're also not my way. So I'm not going to, because I'm not seeking to make things easy for myself. I will not seek to make things easy for other people to excuse them or something. Positivity is not naivety as people may think. People may think, ah, silly positive cow, naive. But it's not like that. Positivity doesn't have to be naive, and mine isn't. So I think I know which is no problem to drink. Drink it. It is good shit. No, försök händerna har du right? I am particularly smiley today. Oh, thank you, Vincent. Yeah, Justin says, yes, stick to your guns, Kate. Be yourself, and you're yourself as a better person for being so. Thank you very much, Justin. I appreciate it. Thank you, Justin. What? But you, I won't be laughing if it falls. Is there someone else in your room with you? So tell them I said hello, hello. Thank you, Justin. It's my sweetie. It's my lovely love. We are always together. Sweetie is also alright with me liking other girls and so on. Sweetie is actually the only person who is alright with me and liking other girls. Sweetie pours out tea and does all kind of nice things. We do cooking together. Yesterday I was streaming and Sweetie was crushing garlic and ginger with pestle and mortar. Sweetie is my private person. Yeah, I see they made you nice coffee. It is tea, Justin. They poured out black tea with milk and honey. Yeah, we drink a lot of tea. And we actually we cook everything ourselves, then get me processed food, so we spend a decent. Oh, she sounds nice. Looks after you. That's right, Justin. We do look after each other, and that, as I said, love is the most important thing to me. I think a lot of people promote this kind of lonely lifestyle and things like that. I'm not one of those. I think your sweetheart is very important, is the most important. Love or companionship? Both, both, Vincent. I think humans are very sociable animals, very sociable creatures, and I see that it is not very healthy, this loneliness thing, and it's been heavily promoted. I've seen a lot of people saying like a lot of women, you get out all these stories about women living relationships, especially the ones of my generation. They start a relationship and they leave it, and they they start another one and change and change and change and all kinds of things. Do I think love can be platonic? Plato was a lover of Socrates, so no, I don't think so. I think it was a cheat by the Greek day guys. Justin, yeah, we drink a lot of tea here ourselves. We famous for low, yes, self-aware selves. We famous for it now. Yeah, I don't know exactly what you mean, but I think I understand that tea. Yeah, we drink a lot of tea too. Yeah, and you see in the places where there is a lot of lonely people, like in Paris, there is a lot of lonely people. and you see there's a lot of the suicidal, depressive thing because of it and all that. It's no good, and I think people don't talk about it enough. How because like everybody wants to have this, have that, and this and that. But I think the most important is your emotional life, your love life, lovely love. But you know, with this sort of guys love like Plato and Socrates, I missed your answer due to disconnect, so I'll need to pick it up in replay. Oh, I said that I don't believe in it because Plato was a lover of Socrates. And it's just like, but you see, I wanted to now develop it more into saying that it is like that with the love of between the guys. So she, the one would likes to sing a lot. Yes, yes. Sweetie likes to sing a lot. Um, what I wanted to say more about it, Vincent, is that when you hear this, because look, I have different sexuality, so I know different people who have different sexualities and their stories and so on. And you see in a lot of those stories between the guys when there's relationship of a man and a man and boys together and guys together, there is very little love actually as such. They often say like they get a lot of quick relationships, like photos and that, and a lot of the way they treat each other is not exactly with the highest humanitarian valued love. And so that's why I think this Plato, as a young lover of Socrates, had to write this book to sort of let out this maybe higher philosophical, mental idealistic idea and the need for love, because also he saw that other people have that quality about them. Because that's also sometimes problematic, that sometimes people who are incapable of love or maybe are too selfish or too jealous to feel it and to share it with someone else, they tend to be jealous of other people's higher emotional states they can get up to through sharing life and love with someone else. So it's a very complicated thing, Vincent, but I did answer to you honestly. Yeah, love is a just instances. Yeah, love is a strong thing as you learn to trust each other and do the same things always. Heroes. Exactly, Justin. Exactly. Trust is such an important element. I cannot emphasize it enough. You're very right. Trust is very important. And for women, it is very important also. It's like long time actually. But women take a very long time to relax with someone and to actually, yeah, to also trust someone to relax and to actually even feel things that the woman can feel. It honestly does take time. And that's what I sort of compared in the answer to Vincent the thing about Plato and Socrates and the guys love, because guys don't need all that time or anything. They can get together and they can get together in the toilets and so on and go through partners like no one's business. But women, like even naturally, to be able to feel the woman's things, they really do need time. And that's why this sort of types of, and that's biological, and that's why this type of relationships that they make and break all the time is really not good for a lot of them. Yeah, and doing things together is a lot happier and better and healthier, and then because of trust and discuss everything together and improve on so many things. Maybe in the time I get a big mug of tea, two sugars in mine if I get chance. Lol, only joking. That's nice, Justin. Get one. Get one for yourself. Oh, we'll pour out another one as well. We are going to pour out another one as well, Justin. And also, I think, unlike people think, mm, and living together and loving each other and sharing the love and life with another person doesn't make those people more like more close for other people. Opposite, it makes more sociable. So what I mean to say is like the more lonely person is, the less like socially interactive and sharing they are willing to be, and the more they close on themselves, the more abstract they become, and the harder it is for them to then not just like make love or relationships, but also even make friends or deal with strangers in the street. Oh, cool, so nice. Maybe I hear her singing, making it. Hello. I don't think so, Justin. And it's already been made, to be honest. We make flasks of tea and then we pour it out at our convenience. Hello, the highest in the in the room. Hello, the highest in the room. somebody called themselves the highest in the room, so so like some person can call them the highest in the room. Just think, yeah, you are right. Being nude together gives you both body confidence, right? Being nude together gives. Yes, exactly. Yes, exactly. And also allows us to see all those various aspects of body, like what I meant, like health and like all kinds of changes. It sort of teaches you to be alert about the body in a different way. Yes, together. Yes, you're right. In the sort of comfort. Yeah. Just don't fry any bacon that will sting a little when cooking nude. Just don't fry. Oh, no problem, no problem. We have no problems with that. Frying bacon, frying and cooking anything. It doesn't sting or anything. No problem. We're very practical, but and and one cannot be too clumsy when they paint and so on. So have to be very well coordinated in that. So no bacon is no problem. And complicated cooking things. We usually steam a lot. We don't fry so much though, it's true. But sometimes we do. We are a little bit crazy about chips, scallops, but we eat that very rarely. And bacon, yeah, bacon we eat a lot. All kinds of nice piggies we eat a lot. But we don't get like food all over ourselves while cooking or something. Strange Vincent um, disappeared after I said about Plato and Socrates. Are you still there, Vincent? Oh, you are. Ah, that's good. What did you think about what I said about Plato and Socrates and the love in a man's world, like between the men? I too am working, so I will go quiet from time to time. Ah, no problem, no problem. Is she good at art too then? Sweetie is my private person. Sweetie is there to satisfy me, so I won't be saying things about Sweetie. I do things publicly, and Sweetie is my lovely love, and um, that that's I keep it that way. Uh, Justin, Vincent, I propose that love can be expressed for all things. Uh, I don't agree. I don't agree. But how do you see the love in a man's world? Between men and boys, and that companionship is for things you particularly cherish. No, oh yeah, good for you. I can understand that. Thank you, Vince. Thank you, Justin. Yeah, it's like a balance. Vincent, I don't think gender comes into love. Um, well, what I do actually, I do see different love dynamics and different approach to love and a love theme between various genders and especially various sexualities. Maybe with the not 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 so much is maybe it isn't so much about the gender as about sexuality. And when you asked about Plato, Plato, Plato was Socrates' lover. Like a lot of ancient Greek philosophers, there were men who were into men, and they had particular type of relationships. And from the experiences I have heard from many men of that type, um, their love is pretty much like that. Their love lives run pretty much that way, and it usually is very similar between each other, and it is very specific. And I really do think that love has to do with sexuality and that. So when you ask about Plato and Socrates, that's why I said it to like instantaneously disclose this fact, which I know about very well. Um, this sort of kind of lack of genuine love and searching for its replacement in male on male relationships, which can be quite a thing. Just think, when you think in love, you must keep what you have, it can only make you both stronger and happier in time. You're right, Justin. You're totally right. It's very kind. You're really right, Justin. When you find out you must keep it, you're right, Justin. Exactly. Vincent, I don't know of this relationship, so don't have a reference to make an informed opinion. Ah, right. Okay, okay. But love between men is fine. That's what they mean. There is. Oh. Oops, I started to think. Acts of love between consenting people are fine. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't I didn't mean about like acts of love and so on. I just meant like all these emotional structures. What I was talking about was more emotional structures because that's what the Plato's books are about and so on. Just in, uh, emotional and philosophical. Just in, and maybe she can teach you to think if wish to. No, only joke. Yes, we tried, but no, it's really bad. I can't sing. I can't sing. Just things an act of love without consent or with an imbalance of power is not so good. But you can have love without acts of love. Yeah. Hello, Glenn O'Neill. No, I'm a naturist artist and I work in the high temperatures. High five, dude. Hi, Lemol. Um, Vincent thinks the love is subtle. I work and love has depth. I work in high temperatures and low humidity because I'm working on one painting, but there's other paintings I've worked on before and they are drying. So this is the way I work in my atelier. Um, but I know all the dress codes because I'm a fashion designer as well. So I respect the rules of public places and the platforms I'm on. Justin, as long as you both are always happy together, it can only get better from there. You're right, Justin. You're right. It's very important what you're saying. And Glenn and you, can we see your body? Yes, you can see my hairy body on Twitter at Kate Neres. I post exclusive uncensored content on Patreon for those who want to support my artistic endeavors. You can see on Instagram, but I always respect the rules of platforms, right? So you have to take it under account. Twitter is under, I did some kind of warning of sensitive content and something like that. Patreon is under age restriction, as you can see. And my Twitter is Kate Meres, at Kate Meres, like the name on here. And I'm into girls. Lemon. Do you paint just for yourself or do you take commissions? I take commissions. I'm a professional artist and I am a master of pre-classical realism. I use a technique which originates from the Middle Ages. At the moment, I'm working on six fourth-dimensional paintings, which are part of my private collection, as well as working on some commissioned pieces. One of the commissioned pieces that I partially stream from is my aquarelle of the Liechtenstein castle and the girls wearing Tudorian fashion. But I do work by order because that's a tradition for a master of pre-classical realism to do. In the Middle Ages, they worked on the royal courts for orders of honors. Okay. That's amazing. Thank you, Lemol. Justin said, is that the tea ready? I hear. Yes, Justin, that's the tea ready. Another mug. And Lemol, you can see some of my finished pieces on my site, which I have. I can paste. I can post on Twitch actually, because I think that's where you're from. But my site is linked to my Twitch account, and also I have posted some videos with time lapse of the projects I've done before from an empty canvas or from an empty sheet of paper into a finished painting or into a finished drawing. I posted them on my YouTube channel, which is also Kate Meres, like here. Because I think you are on Twitch. I did before, I did like portrait of Tyler as a Twitch gamer. I will paste on Twitch. I'll try my site address. I'll check your website and YouTube out and I love the work. Thank you, Lemon. I have pasted the site address and the YouTube name is the same as on here. There's some finished pieces there on the side. There's pictures, and on my other social media, like I stream now through Hubs. I moved to stream through Hubs, and there I posted the picture of this whole painting because it's 1 meter by 140 centimeters, and I regularly post some details of it. Justin, you soon be ordering one of them pee standing up things with all that tea you were drinking. I thought about it for a second, but I did abandon the idea. I like to pee in my ladies' way, so I have no jealousy and need uh, of standing whilst doing it. But you're right, it is funny. Yes, it's true. I drink a lot of tea. I drink various teas as well. No, I have no problem peeing in a lady's way because I don't mind showing my bottom. So the thing of ladies peeing way is that you have to flash your boom, but I don't mind doing that, so it's okay. I don't need those things. I enjoy showing my back and no shame of that. Just lol funny as they saw when drinking bottoms up. Yes, I know this bottoms up. That's a good one. Hello, Mayra Max. Justin, do you like drinking biscuits in your tea? No, Justin, we don't eat anything with sugar in it. So we don't do that. We used to be a bit crazy about croissants, so we did that a lot with French croissants. But we don't eat anything that's made of pastry, so we don't eat any bread type things or pasta type things. It's it's like type of a dietary change that we have made, that we don't eat this kind of things, and we also don't eat sweets. But the sort of savory croissants, we did that with a lot. Our style is more recently like tea and sauerkraut and things like that. So we don't actually dip the sauerkraut in it. Yeah, got to treat yourself time to time, but good for you from eating healthy. Yeah, yes, thank you, Justin. That's what we do, trying to eat as healthy as possible. Yeah, one of the recent things that we had that is like not exactly this is something we haven't eaten for a long time, but we did was a potato scallops, and we did that, and we but it was a whole rigmarole, whole process. We had to get the cow's fat from the butchers, then we had to melt it, and then we fried scallop potatoes in it. It's a whole thing, and we haven't had that for I think 8 months already. But that's one of those things like, oh, that's one of those taboo foods. Fried up, we didn't make chips, we made scallops. So like sliced potatoes. But we didn't use any like vegetable fat or any like processed other fat, but cow's fat. And your cow's fat is what traditionally your fish and chips were made in, and that is actually not as unhealthy as uh, previously thought, because they sort of banned it in a way because they said it's so unhealthy, this cow's fat thing, and fried chips in a cow's fat. So instead of that, they started to fry it in a lot of like heavily processed vegetable oils, which have proven to be far less healthy even than the traditional way of making fries, like fish and chips or Belgian fries, frites, in this cow's fat. So we did that recently. We had this scallops galore. So many I made, like from the new potatoes and from all this cow's fat that we melted ourselves. It's good fun, and especially because you make from the same thing, from the cow's fat, you can make candles as well. So we made candles too and things like that. It was a good fun. You use a lot of olive oil now in cooking. Ah, right. We use a lot of olive oil, but we don't cook. We actually rarely cook in oil. We don't cook it. We add it to cooked dishes. Like we sort of steam vegetables and add it to cooked things. We like olive oil too. And we use coconut oil as well. And we use butter also, and ghee and things like that. But the thing is, with those vegetable oils, they cannot sort of get such a high temperatures, like, and that's why traditionally fish and chips was made in this cow's fat, because that can heat up to really high temperature without burning, and the vegetable oils, they burn at lower temperatures. Oh cool, always fun to do things to gather together like that. Yes, exactly, Justin. It is nice, and it's um like finding out and discovering the new thing. Just think about cow's fat. Some places that make traditional chips, they also use cow's fat, even in restaurants here, but not everywhere. In Europe, not everywhere they are allowed to, and I think where you are, they are not allowed to use cow's fat. They can only use these vegetable oils, I think. Yeah, we use a lot of sunflower oil on chips. Yes, exactly. Because there was like a wave against this lard because it was because of the mad cow's disease and all that, and then they turned to vegetable oils. But unfortunately, it burns off faster and it can get those high temperatures, so that's why the chips are a bit different from that and the sunflower oil. I think it's called talin. I don't know because lard is from the pig and cow's one. I don't know if it's also lard or talin. Yeah, and those fish and chips places have the rules of not using this cows but thing. But it makes great candles. Yeah, that's right. But it makes great candles, and the candles burn for a very very long time. I'm going to switch off now. Thank you very much for joining me, and hope to see you next time. Bye.